And speaking of, this is going to be our main topic for the night. Speaking of the main topic, I've actually talked about this with a couple of other people, and I've looked into it to myself. There's like some people that think that card show vloggers are ruining the hobby. Like these people that go and they vlog their whole entire day and like, oh, I got this for this deal, or they're making like some clickbaity whatever you want to call it. Me personally, I don't think they're ruining the hobby. I know some people get pissed off like, oh, I have a $5 card. You watch me in this video turn it to $1,000 card because of trades or whatever. And I know I've like talked to some people that are like, a lot of the people at the shows are people that are just like looking to trade up for like these videos. So it probably affects the vendors a little bit. But as a whole, in my personal opinion, I don't think that it ruins the hobby. If anything, it's getting more eyes to it and it's showing that it's such a nice, cool, tight knit community, in my personal opinion.
I can get behind that too. I mean, it really depends on kind of what angle the vlogger is going. If he's like going like, hey, if you're aggressive enough to, beat these guys up to get the prices down, you can get some good deals. But no, if it's like, hey, who does a great one?
I've seen Pac-Man.
Card collectors too,
Yeah,
him. Um, those guys, the sports card investor, those guys do really great, things. Even Ian from IF Sports Card, man, shout out, bro. Love the shout out for you on the show a couple weeks ago. But exactly, bro. Like that guy's got close to 50,000 followers on YouTube. Like that guy goes to a card show, it's gonna get notoriety. People are gonna go, oh, okay, cool. He went to the Dallas Card Show. I'm gonna go to the Dallas Card Show next time I go. So I think it's bringing more eyes onto the hobby because you have these guys that are kind of still on the outside and they're trying to figure out, like, well, it was different in the 80s and 90s. If they're little older guys like me, I'm in my early 40s. I was collecting in the 90s, bro. Like you went to every corner store and it was on every corner store's rack, and you could get it for $2, $3 a pack, and people were getting you were getting whatever you wanted, wherever you wanted it, and however much you wanted them. It was never any issue because it was just so much of it printed. It really didn't have any value. You were just to collect and to collect, right? And as this whole market has kind of changed and become more of a, I'm collecting memorabilia, I'm collecting autographs, I'm collecting low numbered stuff. It's become more like collecting artwork, right? And with
yeah, I
that kind
agree.
of stuff, it prices a lot of people out of it. So the people that are wanting to get in and they're not really understanding what they're doing, they're going to walk into their local hobby shop and go, you want $1,000 for a prism box? What are you doing? I collected that was a $50 box back in the day. What am I missing here? And you'll turn off 75% of the people looking to get back into the hobby just by the box prices right now. So these vloggers are like, well, if you can't afford the boxes, maybe you can afford the singles, right? So here's what I do, and if you make it like an enjoyable experience, like Ian's top 10 of the week, bro, people just submit to him and say, listen, that's what we pull, bro. You got a great platform. Let them see it. So I don't think they're naturally ruining the hobby. There's probably a good handful out there that are probably doing some damage. Like they're sitting there and making it a little harder for you as a guy at the show that's trying to get as close to 100% comps. And these guys are never pay over 70%, never pay over
That's yeah,
80%. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's
Like,
the yeah. I've seen a lot of people like bitching, complaining that they can't get 80% comps or whatever on their
yeah,
product, and it's a lot of people that they're doing repacks. They're like we do the repacks, but when we do the repacks, like Tom has said before, we work with Hit Parade exclusively. We talk to them. The only thing we know are the case hits. We trust them to do it because as to them doing it as opposed to us, we can pull off a lot of shady, grimy shit, which we're just not trying to do.
right. Right. That's exactly what it is, bro. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
What do
no,
you
I've
think,
seen a
Danis? Do you think
couple of
vloggers are ruining
repacks that
ruining
I
the
did
hobby
not
going to
like.
shows? You think so?
Wait, you think it's ruining the
Vlog,
hobby? You're not even listening, bro.
vloggers.
This dude's still locked in packing
I'm
cars.
sorry, yo.
He's overpacking. He's
Yo,
packing it.
I'm
He's shipping.
multitasking here, yo. I'm
Jesus Christ.
sorry. I'm sorry.
He's shipping.
No.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, Danny's not agreeing with Tom.
I'm
Holy crap. This
sorry.
is about to be a revelation. This is about to be a
I'm sorry.
Beyond the
I'm
Breaks
sorry.
podcast first.
I was about to
Yeah.
get up and go run back there. Like, what's up?
Yo, you should have, I was about to say, you should have slapped the dog shit out of him. You should have hit with a nice
Yeah.
little backhand right there.
I'm sorry, yo.
Is it?
Yeah, Daniel Lucky said vloggers are baiting people into the hobby. Yeah, I don't know if baiting's the word to use, but they're definitely bringing people into the hobby, I would say.
Introducing. For good and bad.
Introduce them.
I can get behind that, Dan. Agreed. Like I said, there's definitely a few out there that are like, this is how you go to a card show and never pay more than 50% comps. This is how you go and you screw the guy. You take a fake one and drop it while you grab him and show it. Like, I'm sure there's people out there doing some really weird stuff like that, and people, it's a crazy world we live in these days, right? I work in finance, bro. I deal with freaking fraud on a daily basis. And I'm sure that there's people out there that have followings and teaching how to people to fraud people and, horribly, but, find a guy that's reputable. Find a guy that is in and for the hobby, man. Your sports card investors in it for the hobby. Card Collectors 2 out of Ohio, another guy in it for the hobby, bro. Like, these guys are great ones if you're going to watch vlogs because they're realistic, bro. You see these guys make deals and it's, maybe 90% of comps, 85% of comps, or trading a player.
And they usually, and people like that vlog, when they usually show when they're making a deal, they'll show them going back and forth and this, that, and the third and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, listen, the recent comp was 125. I'll give you this $75 card in $30, right? And it's like, okay, well, the card might have a little upside. It makes sense, right? Like, the trades make sense. The deals make sense. Those are the guys you got to look for. Don't look for the guy that's like, all right, man, recent comp was 250. I beat this guy up. I gave him a $50 card that I told him was perfect, but it's damaged and and $50, and I'm gonna be the one making the money on the flip side, right? Like, nah, find a good dude. Find somebody that's got a following already, or somebody that you might even know locally that you trust. Like, we've got a couple of really big vloggers as far as cards around us, man.
Like I said, Pac-Man's from New Jersey. When I got back into cards and started working with you guys and all that stuff, I wanted to brush up on my knowledge. And that guy, Pac-Man, he definitely knows what he's talking about. He goes to all the big shows. And he just seems like he's like a cool, chill, like laid back guy. And he's telling you how it is.
I like it for the hobby as a whole. But again, man, we're not stupid people. We can figure out who's being real and who's being, shady. And don't deal with the shady stuff, man. Yeah, you might get a better deal because you went shady, but you really feel good about yourself at the end of the day that you burnt some guy so that you can make a couple of bucks. Like, nah, man, it's not how you live your life. But
yeah, we got a couple of comments.
COVID, a lot of people are living that way, bro. It's like, who can I fraud or who can I beat up?
A lot of people after COVID, if we're gonna be honest here, they just don't even know how to goddamn act. It's crazy. From me going to sporting events pre-COVID and post-COVID, and Danny can even attest to this one. People don't know how to act. COVID just got this thing out of them, and people are just wilding the hell out for no goddamn reason. It's just absolutely stupid.